You are listening to The Michael Lodge Show. Wealth, business, and taxes. Oh, yeah, and some politics. Let's get started.
What's up? This is a beautiful day, isn't it? This is Mike Lodge on the Michael Lodge Show. I tell you, we are having so much breezes here in South Florida, at least here in Palm Beach. It is blowing so quickly that, and plus it's really nice, cool breeze that's coming off the ocean. But it is like literally cooling everything down inside the house. I have literally been able to shut off my air conditioning and just let the air flow through the house. My place where I live faces towards the ocean. So the breeze is coming from there and going, so I have all the windows open up in the front and all the windows open up in the back, and it's flowing through. And I'm so thankful I'm able to turn that stupid air conditioning off. Do you realize, I did not realize until I moved here, I've been here a year now, electric is really, really expensive. I mean, I am literally spending $300 to $400 a month just to keep the air conditioners going. That's a lot of buckaroos that go out. And then there's another $300 just for the water and the sewers and everything. So that's $600 just to maintain this place. So when the wind comes through, that's freebie. That's freebie air conditioning. I'm going to take it because I'm cheap. I'm cheaper than the devil. But it's a beautiful, beautiful time when you have that wind coming through. It makes it feel more like Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving, I remember when I lived up in South Carolina, the leaves were coming down. It was around 60 degrees during the daytime, 30 degrees at night. And it really felt like Thanksgiving. Here, you still got the palm trees blowing, blowing in the up in the sky, and you've got the coconuts dropping to the floor, dropping to the ground. So it's just not the same. It just really is not the same. But no state taxes, nice. I love no state taxes. Listen. I do a lot of talking about business because I love business, and that's what I am what I've been since 1984. Been in private practice since 1984. That's a long time, right? I'm an old man. But listen, I'm always encouraging people, if you own a business, know how to tell your story. You should be able to tell somebody what you do in less than 25 words. I remember I had a boss that used to always come in because this is before I went to private practice, but I had a boss that would come in and I did all the consolidation financial reporting worldwide for probably about 20 some odd companies worldwide that we had. And I coordinated all this financial reporting on a month-to-month basis worldwide, in China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, and in Singapore and Malaysia, and I mean it was all over the world. And when I did that, I would, it was a hustle, but I hate the word hustle. In fact, that's what I'm going to talk about today. That word right there, knock it out of your vocabulary when you're telling your story. So anyway, I would really work as quickly as possible with all of these CFOs all around the world trying to get a consolidated financial report together, prepare a financial report that management could read and know exactly how they were doing worldwide. But, so the CFO would always come in, and the first place he stopped was my desk, and every morning he asked the same question, Mike, in 25 words or less, what's going on? I got it down to 25 words or less, what was going on. And I've practiced that motto even when I'm telling the story of my company. If I can do it in 25 words or less, I'm doing a good job. But there's a specific word, and I hate it more than anything. And I see people on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all over the place saying, hey, let me tell you how to do a side hustle. Well, let me tell you how to hustle. I hate that word more than anything else when we're talking about business. And I'm going to tell you why. The word hustle also is in the same category as hustler. So if you look up in the dictionary, if you look up the word hustle, you know what the biggest description of it is? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna read it right out of the dictionary. Obtained by illicit action, swindle, and cheat. Example: Linda hustled money from men she met. So that word hustle goes along with the hustler, which goes along with the individual who's trying to do some nasty work on people. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, no, really what it means is that you're working hard. Yeah, you're working hard to hustle people, yeah, out of stuff that they want, out of money that you're going to get from them. It's a bad word. I hate that word. And I see it being used constantly, especially from people who are trying to teach you about business, but they don't know anything about business because they've never owned a business, they've never operated a business, they've never managed a business, they've never had to think about the financial issues of a business. So those guys are trying to sell you something online, their hustle, to teach you how to hustle. In other words, teach you how to make that money, that quick buck. Let me tell you, no money worth gotten is a quick buck made by a hustle or by a hustler. If you want to be a businessman, I want to hear all about it. I want to hear about your product. I want to hear about your services. I want to know exactly what you're doing. Because if you're going to tell me that you are a business person, I'll listen. I will sit down and we're going to talk about it. But if you are a hustler and you're saying, hey, I want to tell you about my hustle, I'm not going to listen to you. I will block you. I will block you faster than you can blink your eye. Because you're not acting in appropriate business terms. With many people out there in this world, the word hustle and the word hustler means something bad. It means that there is a gangster out there, or there is a swindler out there who's going to hustle you out of some kind of money. And they're going to offer you this service. They're going to teach you how to hustle and how to have that side hustle. Why don't you just call it a side business? Let me tell you something. When you start using the word hustle, that perks the ears of people, especially government people, especially those in the Internal Revenue Service. Because the majority of the time, that hustle that they're trying to tell you about, these people are trying to sell you on how to have you hustle, is not really a business at all. Because you have got to look at what you're trying to do. If you're trying to start a business, that means you have a business plan. That means that you have a product or a service that you want to get out there to the public in a legitimate way. And the Internal Revenue Service looks at it, and he says, the IRS agent looks at your business or on your tax return, and he sees your hustle there, and it says XYZ Promotions or something. And you have all expenses, but you have little tiny bit of income. That's no longer a business. That's a hobby under the IRS terms. So those people who are trying to teach you how to do the side hustle and they're talking about the tax deductions you can take, let me tell you, the IRS and the states out there, they look at it totally different, because if they see no income being produced but a whole bunch of expenses being taken, it is a hobby. And they're going to disallow all that. Be very careful what you're trying to do, because these individuals out there who are trying to teach you how to do this side hustle are hustlers themselves. They're selling you the book, which it's totally nonsense, and they're trying to get your money because they want you to become a hustler just like them. So, you guys choose. Are you a business person who has created a business plan, who has a product and a service that you can sell, and that you're going to do it legitimately, and you're going to promote it legitimately, and you represent yourself as a business, and the Internal Revenue Service sees you as a business? Or are you going to be a hustler that's going to get yourself in trouble later down the road? There's a whole bunch of hustlers out there, and they're trying to sell you on all these books on how to become this business person, or start your own business, or what they call a side hustle. Once you hear the word hustle, walk away. Run as fast as you possibly can, because they're going to sell you something of nonsense, but they're going to make money on it. That's their hustle. So when you look up the word hustle, it has two different meanings in there. The biggest meaning that if you look repeatedly at all of the different descriptions, it always goes back to that illegal activity of trying to do something to swindle people out of their money. I don't know if you want to be associated with that word hustle or hustler, because if you do, I don't want to do business with you, because you're looking for the fast buck, the illegal buck. That money where you take from people when they're least expecting it. If you're going to use the word hustler or hustle in your business description, it's worthless. Because a hustler will hustle to create you to become a hustler so you can hustle other people. I hope that made sense. As I was saying it, there's a bunch of H's in there. But listen, I'm very serious about this, because when you're in business, you're telling your story. You're telling people what you do, what services you provide, what your experience level is, what you see for your business in the future. That is your story. But if you're going to use the word hustle in there at any point, and you consider yourself a hustler or a hustle, you're not a business person. You're an illegitimate hustler, a swindler, a fast money kind of person. And if you're going to think that way in business, in what you think is business anyway, you're going to fail every single time. But the guy who sold you that plan, he's made money off of you. He won his hustle because he hustled you. Interesting, isn't it? So many people are... Excuse me, I have this cold. And I really apologize for coughing on mic, but sometimes it hits me really bad. I can't get this tickle out of my chest, and it really bothers me. I try to put it on mute every once in a while, but sometimes it just hits me, and so I really do apologize about that. But hustling is not business. It's illegal. Most of the time it's illegal. It's not professional. It doesn't build anything for you. And most of the people who are doing this hustling or hustle are trying to make this fast money so they can go out and buy the Rolexes and all the other bling that they think is wealth. But they haven't built anything. You see, wealth is about you building something. It's not about you just getting money in off of a hustle, off of a illegal activity. To be a good business person, you're literally planning every single day. You have a business plan, you try to follow that business plan throughout the year, and you change it from time to time because things change, life changes. But the business is always focused on the product and service, the reputation, and how they go out and get new clients and keep those clients and get referrals. Once you get referrals, you know that you're running a good business. If you're not getting any referrals, something's wrong and you need to take a second look at it. The best business is referral business. It always has been, always will be. But if you're looking for that fast buck, you'll never have a referral and you'll never have a loyal client. Because your focus is on your pocketbook and not on helping people. You're selling them something that you think they need only because you've convinced yourself of this, that you're going to make money off of this, off of nonsense. If you want to be seen as legitimate, don't use the word hustle. Don't use the word hustler. Honestly, if I see that in anything, I block them. If I see it on Instagram or anything, I literally block them. There was one individual that I saw, and I had to block them very quick. I've had to block a lot of people because they use that specific word. He was trying to pass himself off as a business coach. And however, all of his postings were with him without his shirt on and sexy poses and everything else. And you have to wonder, what does that have to do with doing business coaching? It has nothing to do with it. It's a worthless tactic. But people do that because they think that's going to sell their services. And the majority of the time, people just click them off. Because they're not serious about the words that they use, the presentation that they use, and their story stinks. Because they're practicing a hustle. I want each and every single one of you. I love business. I tell you, I breathe, I live business. And when I'm in bed at night, I'm still reading and studying about business. Especially about mediation, since I do a lot of business mediation. I'm always studying how to negotiate and how to improve what I'm lacking in my field. I'm always trying to improve. And the same thing happens in your business. You're always trying to improve. You're trying to improve your education, your knowledge in what you're doing. I've been doing this since 1984, so I have seen almost every kind of business out there. I have touched the business apparatus of almost any kind of business out there. From healthcare, the cogeneration power plants, to shipping containers, to electronic manufacturing, to entertainment, to real estate, through hotels. I have touched a whole bunch. So based on my experience, I feel that I've got the knowledge to pass on to other people. Because when I first started this, I said to myself, I will take on any project that no one else wants to take. That's how I built my reputation at the very beginning. People who wanted to start a company, but they didn't know how to do a business, and they didn't want to deal with the finances and the payroll and the analysis work and the licensing and the compliance issues. I took them on for companies. Because I wanted them to focus on what they did really strongly, their expertise, their talent. And I would take on the stuff that they didn't want to do, they couldn't do. And that's how I built my company. And I've been doing it ever since. So it's very easy for me now to sit down and mediate with companies because I pretty much know what's going on. And I know what the issues are that create conflict within the company because I've been there before. From 1984 until now, I've seen a lot of conflict and I've had to resolve a lot of conflict. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to focus on, are you a business person or are you a fly-by-night hustler that's hustling around trying to make money off of other people, but you're never gaining any allegiance? They're not repeat business. So respect, build a business. Respect the word business. Build something. Hustlers never build anything. They just take money from other people and that's it. And then pretty soon they're off to another hustle and another hustle and another hustle. But they're never building anything. Nothing of stability. So you focus on the words that you use to describe you as a business person. Kick out the word hustle or hustler. Get it out of your vocabulary and be proud to say, you know what? I am a businessman. I am a businesswoman. Want to know about my business? Let me tell you. Get your story together. Get your act together. Remember, business is about the long term. It's not about the short term. It's not about getting money out of people fast. It is about the long-term relationships that keep that money flowing in because they now respect you and they refer people to you and their money is flowing in continually. Not just on a one-shot hustle. But it's a business relationship that brings in more and more money throughout the years. If you want to be a hustler, I pity you. Because you're going to be jumping around from thing to thing, never having a consistency, never having a good reputation, and never having repeat business. Because once you've hustled somebody, and they find out that you hustled them, they'll never come back to you. So get that pop term out because it's a disastrous word. Don't do it. Become a businessman. If you want to know how to become a business person, talk to me. I'll tell you. If you need some guidance, I'll tell you. Listen, I offer, on my website, I offer a 60-minute consult. And you can sit down with me and you can talk to me about anything. It's $65 for 1 hour. And I will talk to you about anything. If you want to talk about taxes, if you want to talk about management, if you want to talk leadership, if you want to talk about formation of a company, I've done it all. I can talk to you about it. But if you're going to come to me and tell me that you have a hustle, I'll end it right there. If you want to come and tell me, hey, I've got a business idea, or I have a business concern, I'm really confused, I'll talk to you. So you can go to my website and you'll see there's a tab up there. It's called the 60-Minute Advisory. Click on it. You can book some time with me, and you can book a time whenever you want to because whatever open spot is there available to you, take it. And we'll sit down and we'll talk about your business or business concerns or tax issues or whatever it is. Maybe it's a partnership issue that you're not quite sure how to deal with a partner. I'll be more than happy to talk with you. Go to www.lodge.co.com. Click on the tab that says 60-Minute Advisory. It's right about in the middle, up on the top of the website, first page. Let's sit down and talk. I'll be more than happy to. So today is Thursday. Next week is Thanksgiving. And there's a whole bunch of rules out there on what you can and cannot do. Forget those rules. Forget them. This is the only time at Thanksgiving that you can sit down with your family and friends and be thankful that they're still alive and be thankful that they're your friends and they're your family. You're thankful for the food and all the blessings that you have received, even in this tough time of lockdown COVID. Listen, if you're in a state that's in a lockdown, defy the government and walk away from it. Do your thing. Continue on with your business. Business cannot stop. You got to continue to push your business and live. Your business has got to live on. And government has no right to shut you down. Nothing. Especially when you see Gavin Newsom giving a lecture of how everybody should be wearing masks and they should not be in public places and everything. And here we have pictures of him having dinner with about 15 of his friends in an exclusive restaurant. I've tried to get into that restaurant. There's a year's waiting list to get into that restaurant. So he's sitting there with all of his 15 friends, some of them lobbyists, by the way, for various organizations. But he's sitting there with no mask, no social distancing. They're all sitting very closely. And he wants to lock you down. Forget it. If he's not willing to obey his own rules, just like his relative Nancy Pelosi, don't do it. Keep your businesses going. Stand up to government. Defy government. That's all that I can say. But for Thanksgiving, don't let government shut you down. For Christmas, don't let government shut you down. These are holidays that are designed to give praise and thanks, and we need it so much in our lives right now. So sometimes we have to defy. Sometimes we have to stand up for our own rights, our own families, and we have to do what's right for us, not what government wants us to do. Listen, this is Mike Lodge. I want you all to go out there today, have a great day. I know that you guys have a lot on your plate and a lot of worries and tension and everything. Focus on one thing at a time, accomplish it, and get things done. Everything will work itself out. It will work itself out. Remember, these things are only events, and events end at some point in time, and you can move on to the next thing in life. Go out today. Have a great day. If you have any questions, by the way, you can send me a text at 818-252-5682. Again, that's 818-252-5682. Send me a text, send me a comment, send me a question, whatever you want. And I'll be more than happy to respond to it. It comes right into the computer here, and I can see it right there, and I can respond to it. It doesn't come to my phone. It goes right into my computer. So, everybody, stop the hustle, be a business person, and let's do a good job at building something. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye. This podcast is produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content. God bless. Bye-bye.